Greetings there, greetings there. I'm making this video here. And you know what? My intention with this video is merely to share what's going on in my life. And I understand that the lighting may be a bit funky, but this is my first attempt at long form content. I think the longest video I ever made was probably like 5 minutes. And I'm starting to realize, what if the value people need to hear from me is in those long rants? And I know this first one is kind of dark, but hey, the message is still there. I'm gonna work on making long form videos, just giving my talks, Sage King talks. And with that being the case, I understand. I let go, bro. I let go. It's so interesting how the cosmos works and what comes to you in the times of need. You see, I like to play this video game called Brawlhalla. And in Brawlhalla, there's a character named Asuri. And Asuri has a skin, Ahsoka Tano. She is from Star Wars, and she's an alien with horn hair and resembles locks in a way. And Ahsoka Tano, what's interesting about her is her name means without sorrow. And as I reflect on the meaning of her name, without sorrow, I start to understand this. I live my life now without sorrow. I gotta create, I gotta make. That's the way I am, bro. And not make for fame, not make for dollars, not make for accolades. If those things come, cool. What I make for is to serve, simply to serve. You see, right now I work with Parks and Recreations for NYC. The logo is the leaf inside of the circle. And I'm realizing I'm grateful I get to serve. I was working today and one of the parents said to me, he gets paid to have fun. He literally gets paid to have fun. And when I heard the man said that, I was like, he's right. I get paid to have fun. And you know something? I'm just here to create, bro. That's what I'm here to do. I'm here to make. And if you vibe with what I'm putting out there, cool. If you don't vibe with what I'm putting out there, cool. I understand something about myself now. Wine is one of the oldest drinks on earth. And many people love it. But many people also hate wine. And with that being said, I'm understanding now that I have to live my life large. And I'm realizing, information diet is crucial. The things you consume information-wise is so crucial. If you're consuming people talking about, I hate men, I hate women, let's 2 men get married, let's 2 women get married. And if that's not a thing that serves you, why are you listening to those things? I'm starting to really get it now. Your information diet is just as important as your food diet. And as I reflect, I'm starting to see that as I progress and I ascend, I start to see things of greater sharpness and clarity. And with that being the case, I release expectation of, it has to be this way. If it's not this way, someone will die today. You don't have to be so extreme. And I realized in my own life, I have been an extreme type of man. I have been extreme in the past. I have been. And I'm guilty of being extreme. But with that same acknowledgement of me being extreme in the past, there's a level of humility to say, although I've been extreme, I give myself grace to ascend at the same time. Now, to continue on that note, I'm realizing now that my place on this globe is one of high standing. And not high as in I'm higher than others, but high in terms of the service provided. You see, something I've noticed about humans is that the service that we provide and the one that gives the most service is the one that's most respected. Think about it. I know in the West and other parts of the world, it is a high barrier of entry to become a doctor. Since it's a high barrier of entry to become a doctor, being a doctor is so sought after. And since being a doctor is so sought after, because you serve so many, that's why the barrier of entry is so high. If all you do is mop the floor of one school, yes, you are serving people, but your impact could be viewed as relatively low. I'm seeing with all the gifts I have at my disposal my impact is relatively high. I'm tall, so I can see. I have clarity in my voice, so I can speak. I have a booming voice, so it reaches. I'm handsome, so people will want to look at me. I'm well dressed, so I will be standing out like a peacock, even unbeknownst to me. With all these attributes I have in my arsenal, I'm saying to myself, yes, I am meant for great things. I am meant for great things. And since I am meant for great things, I must act in a great way. And when it acts in a great way, when you act in a great way, you realize, okay, there is something for me to take away from the ways I've been acting in the past. And I learned about this new philosophical concept, eternalism. Eternalism is the idea that viewing life from the fourth dimension, with the fourth dimension being time, that all things exist already. And my understanding is that imagine your life is like a loaf of bread. On the far left of the bread is your birth, and on the far right of the bread is your death. And everything in between is the life events you go through. And if you view your life like a loaf of bread and all the things you go through to be those types of events, there's no past, present, or even future. It's all just an eternal thing that exists. So when you scraped your knee in second grade, or when you won the school race in fifth grade, or when you had your first love in college, or when you traveled the world at 27, or when you made $1 million at 31, all these things are part of the eternal aspect of you. And since all these things are a part of the eternal aspect of you, it gives you a little bit more relaxation in the way you operate on this globe. Because if I can now relax and say, everything I'm doing is benefiting me in some way, because it's written in the book The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. It talks about a certain phrase called maktub. Maktub is Arabic for it is written. And since it is written already, since this thing is written already, why would I fight it? Back in 2022, I went to an entrepreneur event, and this woman who was a journalism and entrepreneur at the same time, she said to me, Taj, if you really want to see if you have that entrepreneurial streak inside of you, do the same thing every day for a year. And I did. I did it for 3 years, actually. I did the same thing every day. I posted drumming videos and words of wisdom, but those are shorts. So it showed to me I could do the thing. But now what I'm realizing is the thing that I'm doing even beneficial. So this is now the genesis, the creation of something beneficial. These long form talks. And I won't lie, it's for me as well. Brothers, sisters, I'm starting to see my information diet, brothers, is not that healthy, bro. Social media, if you don't properly keep this tool in check, it will run you like a rampant horse who is hot at their time of the month. And I'm starting to realize now, that is what is calling me to do this, to serve. I'm just here to serve, bro. I was playing basketball today after work, and I'm saying, I'm done playing basketball. I really am. Here's the reason why I'm done playing basketball. Is this even serving the G? Is this even serving the G anymore? I'm starting to realize it's really not serving me. I'm saying to myself, I'd rather focus on a sport or a craft that will serve me over time, like a martial arts. Today at work, I saw this older gentleman doing very high kicks. He was training. And I asked him a question. I said, what are you training? He said, Taekwondo. And he said, martial arts is like a religion. You should focus on the development of the craft, of the increase of the craft, of doing the craft for religious sake, to be a protector, not merely to inflict violence. And that is when it clicked to my head. I'm big and strong. I have big fists. I have energy. If I use that just to enact violence, I'm no better than any criminal who is thinking in a low way that they have to kill to get money. So let me be a protector. And you know, people throw that word around, protector and provider for men. But if you don't have any skills of protection, and if you have no skills of provision, well, you start learning. Start learning skills of protection. When you say you learn skills of protection, you will learn the martial arts. When you say you learn skills of provisions, you will learn how to feed those around you. You see, it's easy to feed myself. I can live off lentils, avocados, and a gallon of water. That could be a meal for the day, one meal a day. But there's people around me who do not operate in that same fashion, and they're choosing to be around me. And since they're choosing to be around me, let me value them a little bit more. Let me put more respect on their name. Let me understand that they're choosing to be here. They're choosing to be part of my team. And since they're choosing to be part of my team, let me honor what they are doing for me, even in terms of their presence. Let me feed them well. Let me love them well. Let me treat them well. Let me kiss them well. And I'm understanding now, bro. You have to be that guy. You have to practice protection and you have to practice provision. So I'm done playing basketball. I'm done playing basketball, bro. I'm done. Basketball's not serving me no more, bro. It's not serving me no more, bro. And I have a family to provide for. Even if it's a 2-person family, me and my lady. And I'm grateful. This is teaching me so much. This is teaching me so much. And you know, this long form content that I'm starting now, I know it's gonna benefit me. I know it's gonna benefit me. Because I'm a wise guy, man. I'm a real wise guy. And I'm starting this 1 week away from my birthday. I'm 26 right now. I turned 27th on June 11th. And I'm realizing I'm ahead of the game. I'm ahead of the freaking game, man. And once I see that I'm ahead of the game, nothing can really affect me. Nothing can affect me, really. Nothing can really affect me, man. Because I'm ahead of the game. Everything I do is for my benefit. Everything I do is for my alignment. Everything I do is for my betterment. It's all written already, maktub. And since it's all written already, I have nothing to fear, really and truly. I have nothing to fear. Since it is all written, I have nothing to fear. So I move with courage, as you should move with courage as well. And with this being understood, I have to protect and provide for this lady who's deciding to be around me. I really do. And I'm guilty of running from these responsibilities. I learned it in my 20s. I can say that at 27, and I'm still handsome with it. Full head of hair, looking like a real dragon. Now with that being understood, I realized this. This is the way to better yourself, Taj. Create. Just do something, bro. Just do something. You doing something is better than you doing nothing. Because when you do nothing, nothing happens. When you do nothing, nothing will happen. Video got cut, so I'm gonna continue from here. That is why I do the things I do. I love myself. I value myself. I see everything is for my ascension. Brother, there's bare gal on earth, bro. We know that. There's bare big breasts, big booty, fat coochie, what coochie. We know that. We know that already. What is going to do for me to say, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, she's so cute, she's so fine. Let me give her all my money. You have to be strong. And now I know what my lady said to me, Taj, you have to be the strong one. I see why some men give away of themselves so easily. They want to please their gal. And that's fine. I get it. You want to make sure your gal is satisfied in your sphere. But brother, just like how a father has to discipline their child and make sure they see properly, you as the leader of your group, Taj, have to make sure they see properly as well. Wallahi, wallahi, wallahi. Because if you are the captain of the ship and things go left, they're not going to blame the janitor of the ship. They're going to blame the captain of the ship. This is why I have great understanding, bro. I really do. I let go of saying, it has to be this way. It has to be this way. you know, and has to be this way. I let go. I'm gonna use my words to inspire people. I'm doing it now. And it seems as if when I'm idle, yo, my mom was right. Even though the Christianology I don't really agree with, there is some lifelong wisdom that I can take from it. There's a saying that says, an idle mind is the devil's playground. Meaning, when you're idle, you have nothing to do. Even not talking about you taking time in stillness, not talking about you taking time in meditation, not talking about you taking time to rest and reflect. I'm talking about you doing absolutely nothing in your day. It gives you time to start brewing ideas for things that no longer serve you, bro. I'm seeing, bro, I have to create, bro. Creation for me is medicine. It's the remedy. Creation for me is the healing modality. Bro, I can't do it no other way. And I have to be myself, bro. I'm not gonna, bro, I have to speak my mind. I have to. Because if I don't speak my mind, I would literally die in a way that's unsatisfactory to the G. Now, with that being said, understand this. There's gonna be more content for me in the long form fashion. Brother, I understand this. Yeah, I would like it if money comes from this, but that's not my end all be all. Oh, money must come. No. What's coming out of this is the creation. What's coming out of this is the making. What's coming out of this is the service to others. And this is why I move in this fashion. I don't watch no other people, bro. I'm not watching no social media, bro. If anything, I'll listen to some jazz. Keep it pushing. Because I'm starting to see these things will not serve you anymore, bro. It really won't. It really won't. So, respect to the people out there. Soon talk.